a creative eye for restoration of vintage autos, but never dreamed his passion would win him this prestigious trophy. Kurt Graham is a familiar face around here at OCTV, having worked here as a cameraman and editor, and currently as a permanent guest on Media Maniacs with our own Russell Currier and Ashley Point. Congratulations, Kurt. We're really happy for you.
Prom season is just around the corner, and some young ladies would like to attend, but the family budget just won't allow the high expense purchase of a formal gown. But thankfully, throughout the month of March, the Oxford Public Library is joining forces with Hope Closet to help young girls to attend their high school prom in style. Oxford residents are encouraged to drop off formal dresses, shoes, purse, wraps, and jewelry at the library teen department desk. For more information and how you can help, please call 248-628-3034.
This year, the Mother-Son Dance was a huge success. The dance was held at Devil's Ridge Golf Club, sponsored by the Oxford Township Parks and Recs Department. Moms were dressed in their finest, and their young dates were eager to show off their fancy dance moves. Everyone said it was a fantastic night, and they couldn't wait until next year's.
Last week, the Lakeville Elementary School hosted its annual Lakeville Fest. You might ask, what is the Lakeville Fest? Well, representatives from various local businesses, government entities, and church organizations provided games, activities, and fun educational experiences for their Lakeville school children. The elementary school children were able to show off their many skills and win prizes too.
Well, here's a warning for you. With all the electronic billing people are doing these days, please keep a close eye on your credit card statement. Another case of identity theft was reported by an Oxford Township man when he found over $400 in purchases were made to Amazon using his credit card. Of course, he had to cancel his card and report it to the police, so please keep a good eye on your credit card statement. That's it for Oxford News this week. If you want to learn more about these stories and others, certainly stop by your local store and pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper. Better yet, you can catch us right here at Charter Channel 191 or AT&T Channel 99.
Okay, right, and coming up next on OCTV, filling in for Jamie Hughes is Cody Wright with your Oxford Sports. Also, catch Oxford School News with John Ochins, and you don't want to miss Auto Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kinney.
I'm Terry Stiles, and this is Oxford News This Week, where we bring your news closer to home.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kinney, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, the Hobby Eberly Telescope in western Texas will soon look back 8 billion years to probe what dark energy is. It must be perfectly buffed for the task. If you're looking into the darkest cosmic recesses, you want the sharpest vision possible. For workers at the Hobby Eberly Telescope in western Texas, this means a ritual repeated every 2 days, blasting the telescope's primary mirror with dry ice. The solid carbon dioxide dislodges dust and then turns to a gas, leaving no residue. First opened in 1996, the Hobby Eberly is one of the largest optical telescopes in the world. The 91 hexagonal segments in the primary mirror cover almost 78 square meters, and the entire apparatus swivels to cover 4/5 of some of the darkest skies in the continental United States. The telescope is now back in service after a major overhaul. From early 2018, the perfectly buffed mirror will collect light from some 800,000 galaxies that are 11 billion light years that is, away, providing a comprehensive map of the universe when it was less than half its current age. The aim is to help pin down the nature of dark energy. The discovery in the late 1990s that the universe's expansion is accelerating shocked astronomers. Dark energy is what we call whatever is driving that acceleration, and it seems to make up almost 70% of everything in the current universe. But what is it? How has its influence changed over time? The Hobby Eberly snapshot of the past should help us find answers and perhaps solve other cosmic mysteries along the way. And in your garden, smelly footprints left by bumblebees can help them find good sources of food. The insects secrete invisible markers when they touch their feet on a surface, which can be detected by themselves and other bumblebees. Researchers from the University of Bristol in the UK found that bees can distinguish between their own scent, the scent of a relative, and that of a stranger. This ability can be used to improve their success at finding good sources of food and avoiding flowers that have already been visited and mined of nutrients. Bumblebees secrete a substance whenever they touch their feet to a surface, much like us leaving footprints whatever we touch, says the lead author, Richard Pierce. Marks of this invisible substance can be detected by themselves and other bumblebees and are referred to as scent marks. We performed 3 separate experiments with bumblebees where they were repeatedly exposed to rewarding and unrewarding flowers simultaneously that had footprints from different bees attached to them. In the study, each flower carried scent marks from bumblebees, either from them, sisters, or their nest, or strangers from another nest, or were unmarked. The bees were able to distinguish between these 4 flower types, showing that bees can tell marks of their own nest from strangers, but also can discriminate between the smell of their own footprints and those of their nestmate sisters. This is the first time that it's been shown that bumblebees can tell the difference between their scent and the scent of their family members, Pierce says. This ability could help them remember which flowers they have visited recently. Bumblebees are flexible learners and, as we have discovered, can detect whether or not it is they or a different bumblebee that has visited a flower recently, he said. This impressive ability allows them to be clever in their research for food, which will help them be more successful. More power to the bumblebee. And on the music scene, it may feel as if many of our mental abilities decline with age, but here's one that sticks: our ability to sense when music sounds wrong. When you listen to music, your brain tries to predict the next note. To see if this changes over our lifetime, Joydeep Bhattacharya at Goldsmiths University in London and his team measured the brain waves of 14 adults under the age of 33 and 15 people aged 62 and over as they listened to music. All participants heard 100 short pieces of music composed specially for the study. Each piece ended either in a standard melodic progression used in Western music or in an unorthodox pattern. Many of our brain's executive functions become impaired as we get older, but this didn't turn out to be the case for sensing the unexpected ending. Both groups detected this equally well. The older people employed a wider region of the brain, though, and recruiting a broader region perhaps compensates for the expected impairment that often takes place with age, says Bhattacharya. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
I'm John Ochins, and welcome to the Oxford Wildcats School Update. As spring approaches, we're getting into contest season. Team Torque 2137 headed to Southfield the other day for their first regional robotics event. Teacher Phil Kimmel oversees the group.
There's 7 events or 7 weeks throughout the entire Michigan season. So we decided to go to week 1 just to kind of maybe get a jump on the competition and see where we're at. We fared pretty well. We had a rough go on Friday. We didn't do quite as well as we thought we were going to do. But then we bounced back. The students really made some changes. They were diligent, and we came back on Saturday and really rocked it. We were probably, this is just an opinion, but there's no facts behind it, but I would say we were about a top 5 or 6 robot there. We were one of the better ones there. But unfortunately, just because of Friday and Saturday coming together, we didn't see quite as high as we wanted to, but we still got some good points for the weekend, and we won some great awards. It's 2 awards that we've never, well actually 1 award that we've never won before, the Gracious Professionalism Award. So that kind of focuses on our team's ability to work with other teams, help them out, guide them, mentor them, help them build stuff, fix problems, and then help them compete. So that was an award that we had never won before, so kind of a cool experience.
Senior Zach Spencer and Brad Bailey were there.
So Southfield went pretty good for us. We worked out a lot of our kinks, and we're really happy to compete there. We never competed there before, so we're really happy to do that, and we're really thankful to our gracious hosts.
Okay, did you guys pick up any medals or citations?
So we came home with 2 awards. We came home with the Gracious Professionalism Award, which was really cool for us. We went around helping a lot of teams throughout the weekend, so that was really cool to bring home that award. We also brought home the Safety Award, so we're really happy about that. We've been working on that program for a really long time now, and we're really happy to get recognized for that as well.
Coming up next is another regional in Waterford at Kettering High School, then states. Good luck. Meanwhile, over at Autotech, teacher Dan Balsley was busy with mini-mites. He tells us more.
I was inspired going to the state mites competition a couple years ago, and I kept trying to figure out how I could bring that into the classroom. My motivation was to motivate them. I thought that if I created a competition that tested their skills in different areas, that it would motivate them to prepare and study and work toward achieving a little bit higher goals in each of the areas. It's a competition for the Auto 2 class. So I have in the high school, auto repair is the intro, and then Autotech 1, 2, and 3. This is a competition for my Auto 2 and 3 class. The Auto 2 students compete, the Auto 3s actually host each of the areas. So we're evaluating their performance in brakes, electrical, suspension, scan diagnostics, written comprehension, etc. And each one of the Auto 3 students host a station for the Auto 2s. The Auto 2s go from area to area competing in that area.
I asked Dan if he was pleased with the outcome.
Oh, very much. Yeah, the guys did a great job. I think the Auto 3s took it seriously and really tried to do their very best in putting together their stations. And the Auto 2s were great sports. Did a good job. I think the competition went real well.
Here's Dan and the kids at the awards ceremony.
A lot of these prizes are provided from these sponsors. Oxford Rotary Club chipped in $250 to help buy prizes for you. Steve's Oxford Automotive gave us tool prizes, Wright Tool Company, and Oxford McDonald's. So let's give them a round of applause. And the winner is Austin Hunter. Kyle's Park Wrench. Second place, Dylan Trout. Come on down. That's a nice pick. Third place, Jacob Curry.
So Austin Hunter, Dylan Trout, and Jacob Curry were the top 3. Here's what they had to say.
It was a lot of fun just being out there competing, putting what we learned in the classroom just right there out here, put on by our Autotech 3 students.
Yeah.
I thought it was great to have the opportunity. Not a lot of schools have the opportunity anymore to do this, and I think it's great that we were able to do it and have the sponsors to help us support it.
Oh, really? How about you?
It brings on a really big learning opportunity to really apply what we learned in the class out here. It helps the learning, and it's also pretty fun to do.
Next on the agenda is the brake competition, then the biggie, mites in the spring. That's the Oxford School Update for this week. This is Oxford Community Television, keeping it local.
What's going on, Wildcat fans? Cody Wright here with another week of sports. Looks like this might be one of the last sports reports that is for the winter sports season. As we've seen, the boys basketball ended the season winning last week. The girls basketball started to really develop and bring things together towards the end of the season, and our bowling teams really met with success. Our girls varsity took first place in the OAA, and the boys club finished second. Our hockey team really came a long way from last year, and the chemistry of the combination of Oxford players and Avondale players is starting to work. Coach Hensey has really done a great job getting the boys to come together and play like a team, and it showed bright a few games towards the end of the season. Also, our varsity competitive cheer finished first place in the OAA, and boys swim and dive team holds an official meet record this season of 3-3. So overall this season, although has faced some adversity and low points, overall was quite an exciting year for our athletes and fans. Just to touch up on our wrestlers, our co-ed varsity A team fell to Detroit Catholic Central 2-1 on March 2nd. 8 of our wrestlers represented Oxford at the MHSAA Individual Wrestling Finals. Captain Garrett Tyrell ended his senior year in the 7th place spot, defeating Danielle Gullion from Grand Haven. This was Tyrell's first trip to the finals. Devin Trevino, a sophomore, placed 7th place as well, defeating Nick Prowse from Portage Northern, although along with Ryan Miller, a junior, who also finished 7th place. However, Caleb Tabbert, Trent Meyer, and Brian Schlickenmeyer all wrestled hard in the weight classes, but were unable to make it to the podium on Saturday. Our wrestling team has been pretty strong overall in the past, and I think that this season we didn't lose a step. So like I said before, the seasons for winter sports are really ending, and not a whole lot to say this week, but it's been a great year for all the athletes and coaches. Check out what the teams have accomplished this year by going to oxfordathletics.org. Schedules, statistics, and records are all posted there, and you can also look forward and see what the spring holds for sports. Again, that's oxfordathletics.org. While you're at it, check us out at OCCTV.org. You can look back at coverage from this season and past week's reports that can all be seen on our YouTube page, which can be accessed through the website. Again, that's OCCTV.org. We appreciate all your support and enjoy bringing you community news. Well, that should do it for this week. I want to thank everybody for watching. I'm Cody Wright. We'll see you soon.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, this is not your mom's Honda Civic. Honda will bring out a 306 horsepower Civic Type R hatchback to the U.S. this spring for the first time, ending the brand's years-long performance car drought. The production Type R, which debuted March 7th at the Geneva Auto Show, will plug a conspicuous, though small volume hole in Honda's lineup, last filled by the S2000 Roadster in 2009. Its aim is simple: give dealers, enthusiasts, and brand proof that Honda's thrill-seeking can still outshine its sensibility from time to time. The redesigned Type R is just the latest iteration of the current Civic, which has been a cornerstone for the brand's product-based resurgent. The Type R's powertrain carries over from the previous model largely unchanged. At the heart is a Ohio-built 2-liter turbocharged direct-injected 4-cylinder engine that makes 306 horsepower and 295 pounds-feet of torque. Honda will bolt just a single transmission to the Type R, and that's a 6-speed manual with a rev-matching feature that's a first for the brand. A limited-slip front differential, adaptive suspension, Brembo brakes, and 20-inch wheels round out the hardware. The suspension has been overhauled from the more pedestrian Civic models to keep the Type R shiny side up. The car now comes with an aluminum hood to shave weight. The Type R also features 3 driving modes. It defaults to Sport, but also includes Comfort and Plus R. The modes alter the car's suspension, steering, throttle, stability control system, and the transmission's rev-matching feature. A 7-inch touchscreen in the dash controls the infotainment system and a 540-watt stereo system, and runs Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The starting price is in the mid-30,000 range. According to Honda, the Civic Type R is a direct challenge to other hot hatches such as the Subaru WRX STI and Volkswagen Golf R. But it lacks the all-wheel drive setup these models offer as standard. The Type R is front-wheel drive only. It aims to make up for this difference by having just a single trim level that includes all of the aforementioned goodies without pushing the price past $40,000 as its competitors do when loaded. Wow. And at GM, Maven, General Motors car sharing service, opened a 4-week rental plan through a program called Maven Reserve, expanding its previous maximum rental by 24 days. Maven Reserve members can drive a Chevrolet Tahoe large SUV or Chevrolet Volt plug-in hybrid and pay an hourly, daily, or monthly fee. Maven Reserve is available in Los Angeles and San Francisco and is scheduled to expand to other markets. Fees will vary by city. The new program is aimed at entertainment industry members in LA and entrepreneurs in San Francisco who need long-term, easy access to transportation. The 2 areas are strong markets for the service, Maven said, and with users in LA reserving vehicles for longer than those in every other market. Maven said the Tahoe can be handy for lugging production equipment in LA, while the Volt can easily navigate the commute from San Francisco to Silicon Valley. Both vehicles will be available in the two cities. Maven members can access Maven Reserve through a mobile app. Maven Reserve includes a designated parking place throughout the reservation, an initial vehicle walkthrough, insurance, and $100 worth of fuel. Maven operates in 17 North American markets, and its fleet includes a mix of GM vehicles. On the recall front, Mercedes said it will recall 1 million newer model Mercedes-Benz vehicles worldwide due to the risk of fire after 51 fires were reported from a defective fuse. The German automaker said that no injuries or death have been reported to them regarding the vehicles. It will begin the U.S. recall in July when parts are available. The recall covers certain C-Class, E-Class, and CLA cars and GLA and GLC SUVs, all from 2015 through 2017, with a defective current limiter or fuse, according to Daimler's U.S. regulatory disclosure. A fix has been implemented in the new production vehicles, and vehicles on dealers' lots will be fixed with an additional fuse before they are sold, the company said. Of the million vehicles to be recalled, over 307,000 are in the U.S., which is a lower figure by about 40,000 than Mercedes-Benz reported to U.S. regulators. Daimler, in its disclosure, said the problem originated in instances when the engine doesn't start. In that case, the current limiter in the starter motor can overheat from repeated attempts to start the vehicles, causing the part to overheat and melt nearby parts, the report said. Mercedes-Benz and Daimler said that it will begin notifying U.S. customers in late March. No word yet on when other owners in other markets will be notified. Well, that's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.